here then. All behind the scenes. Yes. Oh, that one says, right, what's going on? Interesting. Oh, you know why? Remember, Jimmy, if you're looking at the screen there, I'm not live on my own profile until we actually allow me to join in the mix, which is going to be that. And then once we've allowed me to join, I think we said before that's so once we've gone live on all three, because now we've got 3 people in the broadcast effectively, right? Before we start, there it is. And now if I come out of it on my, well, certainly like that, don't need to worry about that one. But the point is now we're live on it, even though it's not with us. And the one thing you need to do as well is make sure it's muted. Well, I think I might have done that anyway, but there you go. So I think I'm ready. I'll just check it on my device. Hey, everybody, by the way, if you're watching me now on my own channels, get over to ShineCast on haps.tv. That's the website, or their new app, which is on Android at the moment. They've just released a brand new version of that there. And what else have they done? Oh, the iOS app has been updated too. We should be all good today, actually. Let me just check. There we are. Oh, well, it look again almost too good to be true. Something's working, Jimmy. Can you believe it? Can you believe it?
Let's do it.
Shall we? Well, it's over to you to do that. So we've got to go to the blue slate first.
Screen.
I bet are we going to have 3 people on the screen? No, don't do that. Don't do that. Just hit the icon of the person. Yay! Okay, hold on.
There you go.
And so basically, that's the trigger for all those things.
Okay, you ready?
I guess I'm as ready as I will.
Okay, here we go. 3, 2, 1, start. Hey, how you doing? Good evening, good morning, good afternoon. What's your name? Martin. Yeah, how you doing?
Yeah, I haven't changed it in the last 7 days, Jimmy. I'm doing good here in London, England. You are, location-wise?
Nagoya, Japan.
Yeah, you haven't changed your location or your name. That's good.
10 minutes to midnight.
Oh, yeah. It really is that late in the day for you and the week. Are you working tomorrow?
Yeah, I got a few lessons. I got a few hours I got to work.
Of course, tomorrow only, as you just said, indirectly.
It's going to be today, in 10 minutes from today.
Yeah, but as we speak, of course, it's a Saturday, you're tomorrow. Today here, of course, as we're live, 26th of February, 2021. It's a Friday here. It's just about still a Friday where Jimmy is, and it could be any daytime where you're watching on the replay if you happen to be doing so. Hopefully there'll be people joining us live today. If you want to share, like, and follow, please do. Whichever platform you're watching on. Could be Twitter, it could be Facebook, YouTube, anywhere else for that matter, because who knows, somebody may be kind enough to share this out on their platforms as well.
We're on Twitch now. We're on Twitch now.
That's good to know as well. Yeah, they have Twitch all integrated on the main app that we're using right now. As I say this, Haps, and they have released a new version of their app this week for Android and iOS. And yeah, they seem to be harder working as ever before in these pandemic times. How's it been? What's the latest news pandemic-wise over in Japan, Jimmy?
Well, before the pandemic news, I made a mistake and brushed my teeth before I had this glass of wine, so it's almost like a waste. So what are we drinking? We're drinking a French Cabernet.
I have to assume you said you had made a mistake cleaning your teeth. Was the mistake not that you cleaned and brushed your teeth? It's the fact that you did use toothpaste and it was probably minty.
Yeah, you're right. Exactly. So I got to wash that minty flavor out of my mouth.
I tell you, when are they going to learn, these toothpaste companies, that they should be introducing something like, I don't know, peanuts or what? Salt and vinegar flavored chips, crisps, so that it just goes well with the wine that you're going to drink after you've
bacon or cheese.
There you are, yeah. But it
doesn't. Yeah, and I don't like the flavor at all. See, I use Well, the one I'm using now is a little bit minty, but what I usually go for is just the salt-based one. So it's just like and you can actually taste, was it feel the salt inside the
Right.
toothpaste? And I like that.
I haven't tried that myself yet. I know it's available, but when I was just talking about the actual flavors of toothpaste, isn't it ironic? You see, you can buy what I do know. I've never seen such flavors as the previously mentioned, other than mint and maybe a couple of the sort of fruity
Some
flavors.
herbs. They got some
But
herbs
right,
too.
but they're readily available when it comes to animals. Meat flavored toothpaste for your dog, probably fish for the
That's
cat.
delicious.
Well, I can't say I've tried it myself, but if you've
Well, I'm
had
gonna try
first,
it now that you mentioned it. Why not?
yeah, well, yes. Well, I'm not sure that they would be suitable for humans, but then why not? I mean,
Why
what
not?
would
Their
be
teeth.
well, and what would we be feeding to animals in the way of healthcare or food, for that matter, that we wouldn't be able to consume ourselves?
Let
Chris says hi from Brixham, southwest of England. I don't know if you've been following the comments there,
We shared
Jimmy.
that already. We
You
shared
did?
that on screen.
Oh,
Yeah.
in that case, Jimmy's. We got 2 for 1 there because it's been shared twice, I think.
There
Unless
you
you meant
go.
you shared it as in I shared it. I don't know. Did you actually
No, I
share it?
shared it. I shared
Oh,
it. I
well, we
shared
both
it.
did then. There you go, Chris.
Oh
We're
well.
stereo today in
I,
vision
I
when
mean,
it
I
comes to
mean, come on.
comments.
We might as well go for like one more time. One go, one
Right,
more go. Yeah,
right.
there you go. Hey, Chris. Hi from Brixham. Yeah, there you go. I have a little bit of an interesting story with the animal food and feed and stuff like that.
Uh-huh.
Um, so animal husbandry. This is something I've read about. Animal husbandry. They try to eliminate death and sickness within animals. Otherwise, their cost for a hamburger or a steak or whatever it'd be really high if all these animals were dying off. In human beings, they don't try to cure the person. They try to
Mm.
give you something to hold you off to prolong your death. But in animals, they try to eliminate a lot of stuff. And we're talking about uh not like recent like animal was it like what do you call it, these factory farms. But the point is that they would mess with the nutrition, so they would like improve on the food or in the feed they were feeding the animals to eliminate sickness, and it would usually be vitamins and minerals,
Hmm. Yeah,
and they would
because if
adjust
you
those
remember,
vitamin minerals. Yeah.
in the
Well,
UK,
yeah.
some years back, of course, we had the bovine problem with all the cows and the beef, and we think a lot of it was to do with the fact that they were being fed. Well, the food wasn't exactly healthy food. It was almost
Exactly.
recycled stuff, and so it was going back into their food chain, and that's what caused the outbreak potentially, if not definitely.
Most of the time, that's what it is. So the point is that they would improve, and they know what it is. So they would know what the balance of nutrition that they would want to give the animal to keep the animal healthy.
Mm,
So I've read that I've read or I've heard a doctor saying that he actually, when he was a kid, that he had symptoms, and he would eat the animal food to improve himself, and he would later become a veterinarian, and studied animal husbandry and became a very well known doctor. He worked also in Africa and worked with zoos, but this was never incorporated into the human
okay.
medicine. Most of the time, they're just
Yeah.
trying to give you medicine, but they're not really trying to address what the cause of it is, actually.
Always, because we've said this before, and it'll be said plenty in the future. I mean, at the end of the day, the pharmaceuticals, they want you to stay on their medicine
It's
because
your
while you're on
customer,
it,
yeah.
of
They
course,
don't
you're
want no
making
cure.
money all the time.
They
You're
don't want to
making
cure
money.
you.
Right,
Well,
right. And there's
well,
a
most
cynical
things.
side of a lot of people that would say there's no question about it. That is the case. And I was only thinking recently, I've been suffering from quite a bit of acid the last, I'd say, month, on and off, a handful of times each week. And
Acid reflux.
obviously, well, yeah. So one of the obviously the options is to immediately look at your diet and see what's acidic and what's not, and start moderating better what you're eating. I've taken some medication for it. Basically, you drink it; it lines your throat there and the stomach, so that it stops the acid potentially coming back up again. It works immediately, that stuff. But again, I've said I don't want to be on that constantly.
Yeah.
And I'd rather get to the bottom of the situation, the cause, because
I tell you.
if you don't get to the cause, it's just going to carry on. And as I say, that could potentially become a much more serious problem.
I,
So
I,
I'm
I have
onto
this.
that.
I have the same problem. One thing is age. So your metabolism and the way you process food probably slows down a
Yep.
little bit. Now and then there's a valve between, I guess it's your esophagus
Esophagus.
and your stomach. There's a valve there,
Right.
and it's usually tightened and closed so the food will not come back out. So that's what the acid reflux is. Now there are some foods. What it will do is it will loosen that. It'll loosen that, so it'll keep on opening that. It's called the LES, a less. Let me, if I can find the actual
I
what it
have
is.
been eating. I mean, for example, one thing that kicked it off, I know for sure, in recent days, I had some Thai green curry, which isn't something I usually eat, but I had that. It was great. And I had a couple of dishes like that recently that are definitely, they have some sort of citric acid in there. And he said nitric. I don't know why.
Yeah,
We'll
well,
skip on quickly from that.
it's a little bit of the spiciness. So there's a list of
Yeah,
foods here. So and some of them you wouldn't expect them to be. Alcohol, particularly red wine, um, black pepper, garlic, raw onions, spicy food, chocolate, citrus fruits, and products such as lemons, oranges, orange juice, coffee, caffeinated drinks, teas and sodas, peppermint, and tomatoes.
right.
These are just a few of the things you wouldn't think, but what it does is that it loosens this valve. So,
Yeah.
and that what makes the acid reflux come back up. And
Mm.
and there's other things too. You got probably just get too much acidity in your diet, so you'd have to try to alkalize it. But I drink soda when it gets really bad. But it's a lot
Well,
of
the
the
best
food
thing
that
I
you're eating.
found, if not medication that I was taking on a handful of occasions, is milk and dairy based. If you're not, if you're okay to drink and eat dairy products, of course. Chris, by the way, we're just going back to what you were saying earlier on, the money game in the medical world. Take common cold, for example. He says, yeah, exactly. He's kind of agreeing with us, really, how the
Mhm.
pharmaceuticals have gotten hold of a large percentage of the population around the planet, and never has that been the case. Well, other than now with the pandemic on and the vaccine, everybody rushing to try and perfect that for COVID-19. Yeah, what's been happening? So I did ask earlier on, but we sort of skipped over it. But the COVID-19
Uh,
situation at
Well,
the
we
moment
had
in
we, we
Japan.
had we had emergency a state of emergency put into a few of the prefectures. A
Right.
lot of them are coming off of it. Of course, it's because the middle of winter. We're over the middle of winter, so obviously because it's same thing as the flu, it kind of slows down. So I don't know if it's because of social distancing and all that shit. I mean, partly maybe by that, but I think it's also uh, it's probably the virus is probably the strongest during the cold winter, dry winter.
Yeah.
So yeah, so it's I go out regularly on the weekends. Everything is closed still at about 8 o'clock. Everything closes. I think we mentioned this before. It's probably
Curfew.
because people are you drink, your voice gets louder, you're talking, you get excited, and you got spittle flying all over the place. So this is obviously probably a good reason why it spreads. And so if you're just going around your daily routine during the day, shopping, and you're not going to catch it. You go into a restaurant, you're not going to catch it. So I think the shutdowns in a lot of the other places of the world are a little excessive and ridiculous.
Such as the UK, yeah. Well, there been a big announcement, the beginning of this week, big announcement from the government, and a proposal as to how they're going to, start us exiting the current lockdown we're supposed to be having. But I hasten to add, yet again, certainly on Saturday, there were too many people in this high street. It was just like a family day out in our local high street, shopping. But I've got so many pictures of people just standing there chatting to each other without masks in. And, again, if you
And
can't
we don't
wear,
have that. We don't have the without masks thing here.
well, I do like the idea of being able to go for a walk. As funny enough, I'm going to no intention to go this route of the conversation now. But I've just remembered we've got a video to show people shortly when I was out and about over the week. But while I'm out there, if you're heading out into a field or on a countryside type of area, obviously you don't need a mask on. If you're in an area where people are busy shopping, then maybe. But overall, outside, do you really need to wear your mask? My immediate response has always been absolutely not. And why should we? be made to wear masks in the open.
Absolutely.
And I very quickly,
unless there's people or people passing you. If you got people passing you by, maybe to make them feel a little bit secure. But if you're out in the open, it's ridiculous to have a mask.
Yeah, but very, very quickly, I reminded myself, and I brought up in this conversation recently on ShineCast with yourself and other guests. The thing is that when you're in the street, you can have someone quite a distance in front of you smoking a cigarette or something else for that matter. And as a non-smoker, I certainly notice it hitting me in the face, some of that smoke. However far back I happen to be, I'm more than 2 meters is my point. So when I immediately say, no, we shouldn't have masks on, well, wait a minute, maybe we should, because that person just breathing out at the moment, and anyone, that also is hitting me in the face in the same way that the smoke from a smoker has done in the past.
I mean, you're being sarcastic, right? You're being sarcastic.
I wish
because
I was.
you can't smoke through a mask. It's very difficult to smoke a cigarette through a mask.
Right. Yeah. No, I wasn't. I was making the point that if somebody has been smoking and they are walking along the high street and it's hitting me when I'm so far behind them, then the point is someone needs to wear a mask in general while the COVID situation is on, so that their breathing isn't just going to be hitting me like the smoker's smoke would be. That's my point.
But smoke is a little heavier, so it lingers probably.
Possibly. No. Well, the point is we don't know. So, if you're not sure, best thing to do is be extra safe. Chris was going to join us. I think Chris is struggling with his internet connectivity at the moment. Hopefully he'll join us soon. Chris from Brixham. If you want to join us, people, don't hesitate to get in on the chat. Don't just watch.
Join Haps.
You're more than welcome to join us. Just to repeat, as Jimmy did for some reason there, you're more than welcome to join us. Certainly get in on the chat on Haps. You can join us on the chat on any platform, but if you want to join and have your say and be part of the conversation, then get over to haps.tv. But yeah, absolutely. I think Chris is going to try again to join us. Hopefully he is. I can see behind the scenes, as you might be able to, Jimmy, as well. So maybe you'll notice before I do, when he's back with us, certainly visually, if not audibly, and it'll be good to have a good old chat. I wonder what it's doing. I haven't looked at my information sources, but I can tell you it's been a lovely sunny day so far where I am in London. I just tried, it crashed. I'll try again, says Chris. That's his words, you see, not just mine, indirectly complaining about this technology. Yeah, it does have its moments, and hopefully things will be better. I find that this particular platform that we're using to broadcast on really is intolerant when it comes to internet signals, and sometimes with hardware, particularly if you're mobile out and about. It just, it's almost insistent that unless it's perfect, it doesn't want to play ball.
Well, you got it. Was it to go to that little? You see a little triangle and
I want to report
bottom right side.
I can, but you know what? I'm not being funny, but half of what I've been saying over the recent weeks, repeatedly, it's like schoolboy errors, kind of. As I've said, it's like you wouldn't design a car with only 2 wheels, because we've already worked out that cars need at least 3, ideally 4. As the
rules are meant to be broken.
Yeah, but there are situations where if the rules are broken, it just frustrates people unnecessarily. And it's not so much the rules to be broken. The product just simply isn't at its, it's very minimal viable product stage at the moment, if people are thinking in that way. Yeah.
I've been drinking so much Italian wine that I'm wondering if the French wine is I'm not used to it anymore.
You're not used to it anymore.
Well, of course, it just could be. I'm not liking the wine.
You mean it's just becoming bland and just same thing every week?
No. It's a French wine. One thing I've been drinking it. Well, actually, South African, but a lot of Italian wine. And today, I just happen to have a French wine.
Right.
And it's a little bit more tangy than I thought, or it's okay. I mean, I'll drink it. It's probably the toothpaste.
But Jimmy, you usually have more than one bottle lingering around there. So
no, I got like 5 or 6. No, more than 5 or 6 bottles.
Right. So he's always.
I got whiskey. I got brandy. I got whatever you need.
And it was Friday evening, Friday night when we started this. Of course, it's already, listen, we've been broadcasting. You've been on here since yesterday. It's been a
That's
long
damn right.
broadcast. We've been
Yes, it has.
broadcasting for 20 minutes and
2
already,
days.
yeah. You're
I'm
right.
on my second day here.
You're talking to me yesterday. I'm talking
Yeah.
to you tomorrow. Always crazy stuff. Yeah, we like it when that happens. And I tell you, if we were having this conversation in a couple of days, we'd be saying about months, and I'd be speaking to you from the previous month. It's amazing how quickly February really has gone past this year. I mean, obviously, yes, it is the shortest month of the year. By the way, Jimmy, how many months have got 28 days?
All of them.
Thank you very much. Keep drinking that stuff because you obviously haven't had no. You see, they do. Yes, exactly. And there we have it. Excellent. Oh yeah. Right. So it has gone very fast. February. I'm actually pleased that March is here. It's kind of when I say a fresh start here, it's a fresh focus for me on particularly this technology and stuff when it comes to live streaming. So yeah, been working towards things gradually. You remember a week ago when I spoke with you, I was literally driving away that vehicle for the first time. Been out and about in it a
We
few
did it
times.
live. You drove it away live.
I did. It seemed to work well. Chris
And they
has
go,
just come.
is Chris? Is he coming in and out? What's
I
is
don't
it?
know.
Make a
It
decision,
was
Chris. What's
it was
going on?
just working perfectly, and I was about to introduce Chris to everyone again this week because he joined us previously, but his picture disappeared. I don't know whether it's because he did a clickety click on something or not. Probably he's going to tell us it just crashed again. Shocking stuff. I guess he could always reboot his systems, but he shouldn't have to
Oh,
do that.
waiting for
Oh.
Chris. How about I introduce some purchases I made in the past week?
Okay, before we go on to those purchases, it sounds like you've had a number of purchases you've made. Are we going to be
Absolutely.
introduced to some new coins by any chance? I just want to know.
That's what we're going for. Yeah, that's what we're going
Okay,
for.
right. Yeah,
So this
when
is
you're
a very
ready, yeah.
beautiful. This is I paid a little. I paid a little bit of money for this. If I translate to dollars, probably about $180.
Okay.
So most people would think, oh my God, why? Because it's a coin from. Can you read that?
1812.
1812. 1812. It's 5 francs. A
Wasn't that the
5 franc
overture or
coin.
something?
A five
1812.
franc. 1812. It was a good year. Yeah. So it was a battle. Was it for Europe? The
Right.
Battle of Europe between Napoleon. It was the Napoleonic Wars. I think this is toward the end when Napoleon had moved into Russia. So probably the second leg. He made some progress in the first leg, and I think he moved too far in, and he lost control. Nobody wins in Russia. So anyway,
Talking
this
about
is the
yes,
1812, and it's got the real reason I bought this. It's the Napoleon, the Caesaresque
your favorite.
Napoleon. There we
Yeah.
go. So this coin was minted while Napoleon was in full swing,
Speaking of moving,
rampaging
I was
through Russia.
about to say that those are the one that's sort of observational. Where I noticed that just about a minute ago, I'd swapped places with you unintentionally, but these things happen. But hey, we're back again. What else have you got to show us there? What else?
Okay, well, I got another coin. Now, this is a coin that I've been wanting for a long time. It's considered to be one of the most beautiful coins in the world. Now,
Mm.
but this is a replica. Well, I mean, I can't say 100% it's a replica because it could be real, but I'm very much doubting because of the price that I paid for it,
Okay.
um, which is about $150, which seems like a lot of money to play for, a lot of money to pay for a replica, but it is a silver replica and it's in beautiful condition. And this is a Queen Victoria Gothic crown from 1847.
Right.
Okay, yeah. So
Looking good.
now the front, it looks very beautiful. Now I'm going to tell you the reason why it's considered to be one of the most beautiful coins in the world, and it's the back. And you look at the detail in the back of what's going on here.
Yeah, the lions, the three lions there for England.
Three
Oh yes.
lions. I don't know if that's a unicorn or a lion. It's
Is
got
that
a
the
harp.
harp there? Yeah, it has got the
It's got
harp. Excellent. Yeah.
roses. It's got so much going on here. So this is why it's one, and I've been wanting this coin for a while. It's just out of reach because a real price, if it's graded, it would probably be about $8,000. I'm thinking about $8,000. So I got it for
Yeah.
150. It is silver, but even a reproduction, a replica with this kind of detail is worth a little bit of money because it's
Yeah,
not your regular coin.
just to say, of course, when we're talking dollars, those that are new here, certainly we can qualify. Jimmy's talking US dollars, of course. Just
Yeah,
in case.
yeah. Sorry, yeah, yeah. I shouldn't be, so assume that everybody would understand that. Yeah,
Well, the
they
Australians
could
might
be,
be tuning in from time to time, if not
old Hong
the
Kong dollar or a
Canadians.
Singapore dollar or
Right,
a
right, yeah.
Zimbabwe dollar,
You never know. Bet
Canadian
your bottom
dollar.
dollar. But anyhow, oh, hang on, we just had another sip going there. Tasting better.
Yeah. The drunker you get, it really doesn't matter what you're drinking.
Right. Is it drunker or more drunk? Probably you can tell me drunker.
Well, I could be the drunkest.
The drunkiest. Or if you slur your words, it'll sound even more different. Right. I'll tell you what we'll do right now. Again, Chris said he was back on mobile, but I'm not too sure that's going to work out at the moment. But what we'll do is I'll just slip in here, if you don't mind, what I was up to in the week. And
Yeah, let's
this
see. Let's take a
little
look.
corner of London where I am, it's well, quite, if you go in one direction, quite busy, and you think you're in the city and you're heading towards the city. But if you are heading in the other direction, just towards the other end of the high street, kind of, we have a nice green area with plenty of trees.
Wait, Martin, wait.
Yeah.
If you are deciding to talk over your video to tell us what's going on, lower the sound because we can't hear it over that
This is
music.
that's exactly what I was saying to you earlier when the music was on just before we went live. You can't do that on Haps, not in its basic sort of with its
Then
basic
stop putting
functionality.
music on your videos then.
No, we're just going to watch it for a minute and a half or so and just enjoy some sights and sounds. Although it's more trees and
But
greenery.
the music is anyway too loud anyway. I'm just letting you know.
Really?
So yeah, next time put music in the background, not in the forefront.
We've got to wake everyone up,
Yeah, well, then you could be talking over to tell us what's going on. But okay, go ahead. Yeah, let's take a look.
On this occasion, there's nothing to tell. Enjoy.
I don't care anymore about things I used to know. It's much harder now. Wanna grasp it with words, but it's hard to understand. I just wanna do it, but can I do it? No. I wish I could make the yellow light, but it bruises my eyes. I wish I would prepare for the worst, but still be the first. I think I should make the yellow light, but it bruises my eyes. I wish I would prepare for the worst, but still be the first. I think I should. I think I should. Looking off at the peak, but it's never been so steep. Let's try to make it now. And I know it's been done, but it's hard to understand. I just want to do it, but could I do it? No, I wish I could. Make the yellow.
And there we are. Oh, am I there or am I here? Where am I? What's going on?
Is that a park?
It's the woods just to the end of the high street where I am. It's pretty good actually. We're very lucky where I live because, as I say, there's not many sort of high streets where you have the grocery stores, supermarkets, and at the same time, at one end you have the trees as you just saw, and you think you're in a different world. But you noticed how it looked very wintry and Christmassy, and certainly festive with the holly there and the berries. And even
the dandelion, is it the dandelion? So it must be some kind of warm weather there.
I was just going to say that towards today and yesterday, it's been very mild in general this week. And then, I mean, Previously, it was raining. It was cold a couple of weeks ago. 3 weeks ago, we had the snow, just a light dusting, as people were telling us, but still for this area, shall we say, when it did fall at its peak, it was still very cold, and everyone was like, "Oh my goodness, it's snow!" Even though, as I say, if you're living in Canada, you'd be like, "Oh please, really?" It was nothing. As a lot of people were commenting on social media when I put out the video of the snow. But yeah, it has. Yesterday and certainly today has been sunny most of the day. Spring is definitely happening right now here in London and the southeast of England.
Well, spring was official spring starts March 21st. Is that what it is?
Around that, so I can't remember exactly when the first day of
I think
spring
it's March.
is.
December 21st is the beginning of winter. So yeah, I think March 20. It's every 3 months, right? So yeah, March 21st.
I was asking earlier on actually, and Chris has just said sunny here as well. So that's the southwest of England in Brixham, which is kind of toward West Devon, Cornwall. So
How far is he? How far is Chris from you?
I think it's probably about 200 miles from where I am. Would that be right, Chris? From London, certainly from the centre of London. I think Chris is a good couple of 100 miles ish.
Okay. I'm so blown away that England uses miles.
Yeah, you mentioned that to me when we were speaking.
Yeah, I'm still.
I think. Yeah, we use miles everywhere in the UK, across the UK, but in mainland Europe, kilometres, and of course miles in the USA. So that's one thing we do still have in common.
And the funny thing is, I have to tell you that I think we should all be using kilometers. It's very strange. I think we should be using the metric system all the way around.
I've just gotten used to using the imperial system because we've had to.
And I understand that.
Of course,
but it doesn't make. It's difficult. It doesn't make sense, and it's hard to calculate things.
Yeah. But as I say, even when it comes to, food recipes now in the USA, certainly it's pounds and ounces. We still, I would say to this day, use pounds and ounces. I don't know, again, whether people's heads when they exit school, secondary school, before they go to college, university, whether their heads have been twisted to understand and think more metric. But certainly in the 1980s, early 1990s, people were still, it was kind of a 50-50 thing, I would say, not much more to go and ensure that you were talking metric. Yeah, all the way. We do favour meters and centimeters somewhat, but rather than inches.
So you're wait saying. So England, you're using centimeters and meters.
Well, yes, yeah, absolutely. But
so it makes no sense. Why would you use a mile?
Well, look. What about the weather
America does too. America does too.
Fahrenheit. Do you know what really messes my mind when I'm in the USA is that the cookers over there, the stoves, they are all calibrated in Fahrenheit, and that throws me. I can work it out and work it backwards. It takes a while, but over here it's in Celsius, centigrade. When you're cooking your roast potatoes, 200, 220.
That I'm not too sure about. So that it basically starting at 0 is a good point to start. That's all I'm saying. Okay, first of all, now we have. Let me talk about the metric system: 10, 100, 1,000. Okay.
Right.
It's very simplified. It's very simplified. It's very, very simple. Now you have something. Now, America is a great country. There's a lot of great, smart, intelligent people, but there is a lot of really dumb people in that country too.
Okay.
It's got a large scope of people. So now if they had to count in tens and hundreds and thousands, wouldn't it be much easier and then instead of telling them that in this length we have 12 units, and in one of those 12 units that we can break it up into a half, a quarter, an eighth, or a 16th?
Well, it keeps you on your toes, doesn't it? The imperial stuff, that's for sure.
No, it makes no sense. No sense.
I'm surprised you haven't gone back to coins yet. Before 1972, was it? We had a completely different, system when it comes to currency. A penny and a new penny in the UK. You know all about that.
What's up with that? A penny and a new penny. What the
hell?
Oh
goodness! What was it? 100? Do you know, something tells me maybe I'm getting my weight measures mixed up with my currency. But was it 144 pennies to the pound. I'm talking about currency, not pound in weight. Chris might even be able to help out here, but I just
What?
know it wasn't.
100. Wait. Is that a weight system? Pennies?
No, no. I was trying to say again and make sure people didn't misunderstand me, which you decided to do again, Jimmy. I'm saying that we're not talking about pounds as in pounds and ounces and weight. We're talking about pounds as in English currency. 1971 it changed. Thank you, Chris. Yes. But and again, that for a lot of people,
Okay.
it was a bit crazy.
144 pounds for 141 pounds. Wait, 141 pennies for a pound?
Again, I can look it up right now, but hopefully Chris will have a little.
Oh my God, that's ridiculous!
Reminder
I
on
mean,
his
I understand you're
keyboard
talking about
for us.
monetarily. Well, that's
It
ridiculous.
certainly wasn't 100 pennies in the pound back then, and we weren't. I mean, a pound. What was a pound? We had shillings, we had pennies, not to be confused with the new pennies, which we work out today. What else was there? I can't remember right now. But you got to look at it, Jimmy. If you're not aware of that before the 70s, definitely check out the English currency. Certainly going back in time before the coin you were showing us
So
earlier
wait. So you're telling me 141 pennies to a pound?
I said
So
144, but I could be
144. Okay, 144 pennies to a pound. So how much is 5 pounds? How many pennies is 5 pounds?
what these days?
No, with that calculation, the whole
Well,
point is
come
it's
on,
so
that would
hard to
be
calculate. It's
1,000. That
ridiculous.
would be 1,440 divided by 2, because that's what 10 would be. So it's going
It's
to
just
be
ridiculous. It's
700.
ridiculous.
Is that 720?
It's ridiculous that you have to do all that roundabout counting just to get the number. 10, 100,000, please. Come on.
I'm struggling here to get the information because Google is asking me to verify myself because oh goodness me, here we are, just checking it out now for you, Jimmy. No, old money. Just having a double check now. It's going to take me a moment or two, but that's right, because of course the symbol for penny was at the letter D, delta, and it was a small d, not a capital D. I've just seen a picture of an old pound note. That's not, when I say that, I mean it's the new currency, but obviously we have pounds and pence now, sterling. And
24 old pence or 10 new pence? What the hell?
Yeah, it was 240 pence in a pound.
24 pence in a pound.
Yeah, I don't know why I've got 144 in my head, but there you go. I won't forget that. 240. You can go Google it now. Just check
I'm
out.
looking at it. It says 24. Wait. A coin worth 2 shillings. A florin, a coin worth 2 shillings. So 2 shillings is a florin.
Yeah.
24 pence or 10 new pence. So the 2 shilling now, 1 florin now is 10 pence.
Okay. Yeah.
Is that what's happening now in Britain?
Well, now in Britain, currently, as I say, it's 1 penny is 100th of a pound. There are 100 pennies in a pound. They've kind of come to their senses.
So good.
Right. Yeah, you never know, because of inflation, they might change that at some point sooner rather than later.
It just makes no sense that people with to consider that you have to consider the lowest common denominator of people counting. They can't even count their money.
Well, remember that we were possibly going to head over to the euro at one point, and then luckily our politicians were like, "That's the last thing we are going to be doing." Harry says on Facebook, the only thing I did find is that the washer would not tighten all of the way down.
What the hell does that mean?
Well, you don't need to wonder too much, because I think, where are we? Go back to trading cows and goats. Yes, but I hear interference. It's like somebody talking on your stream. But yes, I heard your instructions. Did you see my message about the washer? Well, I think I just answered that.
Yeah, that's what we're talking about. What?
Yeah,
I don't get it. What do you mean the washer wouldn't tighten all the way down? Because you're turning it the wrong way?
It's probably Harry has probably got interference. You know, like when you used to tune in an AM radio and pick up some sort of what they called code channel interference, technically. Yeah. But your audio is very strange. I can hear two men talking to each other at the same time. If you want to hear three, just get on board, Harry. Why don't you? Get over to
Yeah.
Hap.
Come on in.
Yeah. I think Harry's just discovered something called the internet. It's pretty exciting stuff, Harry. We don't use cocoa tins and bits of string anymore to communicate, and it's not just a two-way thing between us. It's almost like what they used to have, a party line. Do you ever remember those, Jimmy? Back in the early 90s, late 80s.
Yeah, but now it's back.
Oh
now
yeah,
it's back.
yeah. The party's bigger and better because it's global. Oh yeah.
No.
And
The new Apple app, a new Apple app that they're using. What is it called?
Oh no, you're talking not Hangouts. No, that was Google Hangouts. Sorry.
No. Right now, there's another one now. What is it? I
Okay.
hate it. I don't like that shit. But it's only voice. What is it? What is it?
I can't remember what you're talking about.
Hangout.
I just
Hangout?
said that was Google Hangouts, my friend.
Google. No, it's not Google Hangout.
No, I know it's not because I just said that. Goodness me, Jimmy, that alcohol is definitely having an effect. But what I will say as well, while we're on that subject, is that Twitter have Twitter Spaces now. At Twitter Spaces is their account. I don't think they have a direct association with Twitter. They are on their own Twitter Spaces, and what they're doing is it's basically a way of you can call in to someone while they're on Twitter and have a chat. I had a chat with someone recently. I think it was Chantel TV. That was it. Who's on Haps here, but she was on Twitter. We went over to Twitter. I had a chat. The worst thing about it is that it doesn't save your conversation. It's just live and that's it, which to me is a waste of time because you can do that with anything. Why have a conversation and knowingly ensure that it is it's gone and that's it? You record it, and then of course you can repurpose the conversation and the content and put it out on other platforms, but not with Twitter Spaces. But that's all been done before anyway. I mean, a better option, I haven't checked them for ages, is something that used to be called Audio Boo, and then they changed the name to Audio Boom. And Audio Boom is a way that you can just record audio and then post it online on your social medias. And of course you can do that with YouTube with video.
Yes, right now.
Video. Right. You can record on your cell phone in video mode, but just have the camera pointing down.
Clubhouse. I can't. Clubhouse.
Wow. How much longer will you be on here in case I need more help? Help? Hey, what help do you need there? Let's have a look.
Harry to get on the Haps. Where is he? Is he on you or ShineCast? Where is he?
I don't have a full toolkit, so it's a bit difficult for me. So I could send me. What's that?
Okay, I'm gonna send him a link right now. So what was his
Gone for now. But if you want to get on to this stuff more seriously, Harry, and I'm not sure Harry's too serious, you head over to haps.tv, or if you certainly want to stay in touch.
Martin, the video's not playing on your page. Martin, Shine, Facebook. It's not there. You haven't shared it?
No.
Why not? So where is he?
So Harry's probably watching on ShineCast on Facebook. I'm not sure, and if I said I don't care, some might think it's very rude for me to state that right now. I wouldn't suggest it's too important right now, Jimmy. Why does it matter?
I can't find him on because I see that he's was it writing in from Facebook? That's why.
And what's your point?
I can't find his comment.
Oh dear. The end of the world, everyone. We cannot find the comments from Harry.
So where is he?
Well, I will slowly and calmly.
I found him. He's on your. Oh my God! You have a third page that I'm not even on. I'll like it for you. It's a third page. Here we go. Yeah. I found him.
Found him twice. Wow. Incredible stuff, Jerry. I think you should be a detective there. We've got a series over here called, what is it? Death in Paradise. I think this was just Death in Broadcasting.
No. Right. I think I don't know if I could reply.
So, Jimmy, where were you saying we're not live?
On your page, on your personal page.
Well, we wouldn't be, would we, Jimmy?
Now,
This
why
is
not?
ShineCast.
Yeah, well, I thought you'd be all over the place.
And we're on martinshine.live as well, aren't we, Jimmy?
I found you there.
What?
I found you there.
Where did you find me, Jimmy?
On Martin Shine on Live, on Martin Shine
There you
Live.
go. That's my personal Facebook page for people that want to follow what I'm up to out and about. That's me, Martin Shine Live, or ShineCast, which is where we are today. Yeah.
Yep. Well, I sent him. I gave him the link, so if that's what he
Awesome
needs.
stuff. And there you are. He's been off for a while now. Anyone else out there having a chat with us? I'm not sure at the moment.
We got one viewer. I'm guessing that's
one viewer. Jimmy,
yeah.
you've got one viewer. Goodness
at the moment.
Me. Hold on a second. Wait a minute. Let's use the fishing rod. Yeah, we've got one. Goodness me.
Could be Harry.
Could well be.
Yeah, but actually it says we got 36 views, so that's untrue. I don't know why it's showing. Oh, we got 2. No, we got 2.
What? 36 people watching? Are you serious? Holy!
Don't get me nervous here.
No wonder Haps keeps falling over with their servers. 36 concurrent viewers? Are you serious? Wow!
Yeah, well,
I'm going to call the. Wait a minute. After this broadcast, I'm on to the Guinness Book of Records. I'm contacting them. You know, it's incredible stuff.
Yeah, the least amount of views. Make sure they know that.
All right. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Right. Anyhow, I'm glad that Harry has been satisfied with your information there, and yeah, it's all there in the timeline. I'm glad. I'm glad it's out there. Awesome stuff. Good. What's your plans for the week ahead, Jimmy? 7 days until we meet again like this. That's for sure. What's going on?
7 days, yeah, every 7 days, yeah.
Chris is just verifying as well, our unofficial, self-appointed counter.
Yeah.
Thank you, Chris. I can't believe it. Incredible. Sorry, can I just ask which wrench? Yes, it's the third one in from the right, if that helps, Harry. Yeah. I think Jimmy will agree with me on this occasion. Although I'm not sure because, see, they write slightly differently in Japan as well, don't you? So we've got to be careful there. That 6, surely that's not big enough. Jimmy,
okay, so,
you're missing some comments. Hang on, you can't do that.
I've seen some of the comments, and one of the comments I'm very curious of, a Facebook user. What the hell? Now I kind of see him now. Who's mixed in with Harry here. We should go back to trading cows and goats. Oh, it was only one here. Oh, here we go. You ever hung out on Black Twitter? You know what? Let me go back to my Facebook here, because I didn't see anybody in yours. Okay, it's my friend David. Black Twitter. What the hell is Black Twitter? If he's listening. Black Twitter. You know Black Twitter?
Me? You're asking me, Jimmy? Or you're talking to David? Sorry.
What the hell is Black Twitter, man?
I wouldn't
David,
have
if
even...
you're still there, come on. What's like? I'm going to ask Dr. Google here. Black Twitter.
If someone's going to be as vague as that, I'm not sure I'm going to have the capacity to respond. I mean, you know, the answer is no. Is that the response you are looking for, David?
I found it. I found it. Here we go. Black Twitter is a community largely consisting of Black users on a social network, Twitter, focused on issues of interest to the Black community, particularly in the United States. Feminista Jones, that's a bad name for me. Described in the Salon as a collective or actively primarily African American Twitter. Yeah, Twitter users who have created a virtual community and are proving adept at bringing about a wide range of socio-political changes.
But does Jimmy, does that not potentially, while obviously Black Twitter matters, does it not potentially cause some segregation somewhat, which would be an irony in this day and age?
A large group of Black people probably want segregation in the United States. And you know what? I don't think it's a problem. Yeah, if they wanted to be segregated a little bit, that's in certain aspects of it. But then I think that everybody should be able to segregate it if they want to be. You know, and this is like a very American situation. You have to understand because America has like so many communities coming together. So it's obviously to sit there and say that everybody's equal is, I mean, as a human being, yeah, you might be equal, but to sit there and think that everybody is equal in the way they're thinking and equal in what they hold true to the heart, it's not. It's not true. It's not true. And that is part of the beauty of America. So if you want to go eat Chinese food, you're probably going to get authentic Chinese food. You want to eat Russian food, you're probably going to get pretty authentic Russian food. You want to eat Italian food, you get authentic Italian food because there is those are somewhat segregated communities.
Right.
So yeah, Black Twitter. So me hanging on Black Twitter, David, if he's still listening, that's not gonna. They wouldn't want me there. They'd probably kick me off.
Think?
Or they would beat you down like online. Everything is just like a bunch of keyboard warriors beating each other down.
Again, that's an irony, isn't it? Really, with what some people are trying to do, which is prevent segregation and have more of an open dialogue when it comes to different communities, cultures, and things like that.
Here. Look what he says here. Under our community blossomed under segregation until the U.S. government bombed us, and I totally agree with that, David. I do. Because the blacks actually had their own strong community. They had black businesses, black companies that catered to black, and why not? As every other community would. And I think a big part of this was it integration or the trying to I think it backfired, or it was purposely made to backfire. So if you, for instance, if you had to okay, you have to let black people into this company that's all white or whatever, then they would send white.
They were traveling on the back of a bus and they couldn't sit on any other seats. So let's start with something a bit more basic: transportation. Let's go for that conversation.
No. Transportation has nothing to do with it. That's just some bullshit that they used to. Was it forward or was it their agenda at that time, at that moment in time? It's much deeper than that. You can go back to the 30s and 40s where the black community. I think there was a big story about in Oklahoma where they actually burnt down. Was it their the white. At that time, white supremacists, they burnt down I think it was a community in Oklahoma that was thriving with so it was like kind of a war, which is really stupid. Segregation is, I don't think is I don't find something really wrong with it as far as if the black community wants to be segregated themselves. I don't think that. But then again, I think that all the other communities can do that too. And even if they're segregated, they can actually you can still visit them. It's not a problem. It's just that they are more dominant in their people can be dominant in that. Tulsa race massacre. That's right. Yeah. So yeah, that's what I was talking about. It was jealousy. I don't know if it was jealousy. David's saying that it was jealousy. Well, here is a little bit of my opinion here. As far as the civil rights movement in America, if David's listening. I think Dr. Martin Luther King was a great man, and he was great, and he was a great humanitarian. But as for the black community, I think he wasn't the best, and I would have to go back to Martin. Was it not Martin Luther King? Was it Malcolm X? Was probably a better leader for the black community than Martin Luther King. So. A lot of people focus on Martin Luther King, and he was great. He's a great humanitarian, but I'd have to go with. Yes, you had trade skills. You're right. He's making all these comments here, so yeah.
And we're seeing them as well. The ones
the trade
that
skills,
are.
They in the 70s they tried to get rid of the trade skills. They say so they're doing all this college degrees. You have to go to a university, which is all bullshit. Doesn't help you in real life. The trade skills is actually what the world needs, more trade skills. We're losing that. Get all these people doing humanities studies that mean nothing. We're not going to earn you $1 that way, or a pound, or a yen. Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, so David, you got to join in because I can't just be answering to your questions on Facebook while I'm on Haps. Join Haps. David, you want to talk?
I like Nate Turner and Marcus Garvey.
He wants to join the conversation, but he doesn't want to show his face. Stop being a keyboard warrior. What is up with that, people? Stop being keyboard
He
warrior.
certainly loves to give his view, and that is questionable, isn't it? Because if you believe in what you're saying and you're not intentionally being confrontational or offensive, then you have an absolute right to say what you're saying. It's your feelings and your belief. And
I
if
think that's
someone
great.
else wants to challenge that, well, that's what you can do here, but in a calm, polite way. And it's called discussion rather than confrontation or argument and debate. Yeah. So again, there should be no problem with people giving their true identity on here. Just saying.
Yeah. I'm in bed. He says I'm in bed. So what? So
Right.
what? So what? I didn't brush my hair.
I don't know the town bed. Which state is that in the USA or country around the world? I'm confused at the moment. So do help. It might actually enlighten me somewhat. It's history, not a belief. Right, good. Even more. There you go. Even more so. So if you're commenting on history, but you believe in your views that are based on history, i.e., fact, yeah, then there's not a problem. As I say, but you're in bed, that's fair enough. Wouldn't it be good if someone could just join us audibly? And they can. If you want to just join us,
Yeah, you can
why not?
join it.
We don't clearly.
Audio. You can join audio.
All you got to do, that is one downfall with this particular platform we're using at the moment. It gives you the impression that you have to be on camera. The problem is, though, I totally understand, because you have to, when you join with your camera and your microphone audio device. You can't just easily join with your audio device only. I think some devices just bring them both up. But we're not going to bring you up in Vision if you want to join us. Absolutely, and you don't want
put a
people
picture.
to see it.
Put a picture up, man. Put a picture up.
Yeah. Well, hold a picture up in front of your camera just like that. If you're in bed.
You can put a picture. You can put a profile picture up on
right?
on Haps. Yeah. Just put a Nate Turner or a Marcus Gravy picture if you want up. Yeah.
There you go. Yeah,
he says he hasn't hid his true identity. Yeah, because I can see who he is on Facebook. But the point is, like, why don't people want to join in? That's like, they want to type. I hate this typing crap.
Well, we should. What you going to do about it then, Jimmy? Should we hide the comments in future?
No, he doesn't have that. What the point is, like, when people are typing, it's like they say. I'm not saying that David is, but when I'm watching people become so aggressive on each other and like talking shit with typing, and I can't stand this. Like, dude, you wouldn't say that if you were like talking face to face. People are more reasonable, I'm sorry, Garvey. Yes, I'm sorry. I said gravy or something probably. But anyway, the point is that people wouldn't say things that they're typing. Like this beatdown. Everybody has this beatdown, this cancel culture. Get them fired or blah blah blah. It's like they're not allowed to have another opinion, which is stupid. Even if I agree with you, like I'm 180 degrees away from you, you know what? You can have your belief. I just don't want to be close to you. That's it. Very simple.
You said it, Jimmy.
Yeah.
There you go. We never have any doubts about your views or your tastes, that matter, particularly when it comes to what I think there is an empty glass. Is that right?
Well, listen, I'm only drinking wine until it gets warmer. Then I'll break out the whiskey and the brandy.
Really?
Yeah.
Is the glass full again by any chance?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's always full.
Jimmy's glass is always certainly well maintained. Definitely.
Yeah. Well, I only get to do this. This is causing the acid reflux, but I only get to do this on Friday night, Saturday morning. So the rest of the days, I'm working. So at this time,
was that a little hint that you actually want me to sort of ensure and accommodate maybe these chats every night for you?
That I could drink. Yeah. Well, if I don't, if I didn't have an early morning, I could probably do it every day.
Really? I don't know how healthy. Can't remember the number of glasses of wine. What is it? I mean, a lot of people are definitely drinking too much at the moment because of the pandemic, and people that have never drunk at home before alcohol as much as they have no choice to now have never done so in the past so much, right? Did that make sense? Yeah, I think I got that right. But basically, as I say, you haven't got an option of going to a bar or a pub for your drink. In the past, I've very rarely drunk at home anything significant. But now, well, the pubs, bars, restaurants have been closed now for many weeks here in
Ridiculous.
the UK, certainly
Ridiculous.
across England. But as I was saying earlier, and we got sidetracked, the government made a very important announcement at the beginning of the week. And in a month, I think it's about, well, from now, what is it? I think it's around about March 14, March 12, I think it is, that places that are non-essential, such as hairdressers, barbers, beauticians, and certain other stores are going to be able to reopen. I can't wait till then.
Who are the government? Who are the government? Who are the government to tell you that you're essential or not? That's such bullshit. Who are the government to tell anyone that the government is the least essential group of people working? I didn't want to say working people because they don't do shit. The government is the worst. I mean, the least essential people there is. The barber, the bartender, the cook, the chef, the waiter. All these people are much more needed than the government officials. They're not official. They're officially.
You never hold back from making sure that everyone's aware of your views there, Jimmy. That's for sure. No.
Yeah, I think we need to voice that. Yeah.
And you did it well. Mm-hmm. As pubs are shut, more people will buy from supermarkets because it's cheaper. Chris is saying, yeah, absolutely. And the problem now is that so many people are used to entertaining themselves at home, not having to go out. That kind of initial frustration and boredom, while they are somewhat still, in quotes, bored and want to go out, I think a lot of people are not going to be heading out as often as they used to. Yeah. More so, a lot of people.
You know what? You know what, Martin? Your age, my age,
yes,
we have this kind of thing that we're feeling that you're feeling that, but that's not true for the younger generation. You're talking like mid-20s and lower. They were already like that. They were already they're glued to their cell phone or they're glued to their computer anyway. Right. So it's not such a big step. Well, so I think
there's a lot of changes going. Can I just say that Chris has indirectly reminded me? He said March the 8th, 2021 is when the schools go back, and absolutely, thank you for that, Chris. It's April. I think it's April 12 when it certainly isn't March. It is because I was thinking like it's at least 5-6 weeks before so if I said March, I didn't mean April. I was thinking next month. Why? Because March is pretty much on top of us in about 48 hours time, less than. I hope casuals stay away from movie theaters after the COVID is done.
What does that mean? What is it?
Is that your friend David making such a statement?
Yeah. Casual. I think he's a hardcore movie goer because David is he's like a comic book like a superhero. He's like, what do you call it in Japan? I don't want to say nerd, but in Japan they call it otaku. Where they he's like one of those guys. So he probably he's the kind of guy that probably watched 3 movies in a row at a movie theater, which I could do it when I was a teenager.
Goodness me.
Binge watch. I can't do that anymore.
I could never binge watch. I mean, I know a handful of people who.
I used to be able to do that.
People do that with DVDs. They buy a whole series, like of one of them being Friends USA. TV.
No, thank you. Come on, Friends. Stop it. No Friends.
Can I just pick up on something David just mentioned? Because he's quite questionable, if I say so. I hope casuals stay away from movie theaters after...
A nerd, that's exactly. He's a nerd.
After the COVID is done. But COVID's never going to be done, David, is it?
Yeah, they don't want it to be done. They want to program you to make sure that it's never done.
Yeah,
it means quiet movie experience.
Got to remember that COVID is here to stay. We've had to adjust big time over the last year to accommodate COVID. And now businesses have had enough time to rethink how they're going to move forward with COVID, whether that means that theatres have to social distance ongoing. Yes, you don't have to be so cautious with the 2-meter rule. Maybe it's only going to be a 1-meter rule. Maybe there isn't going to be a rule, so long as everyone sitting in the movie
Hold
theatre,
on. We
in
don't.
the
It's gonna.
cinema,
We're gonna.
has
We're gonna
been
forget about this.
vaccinated.
We're gonna forget about this very soon.
You're not going to be allowed to, Jimmy.
Okay, we're going to, because there's going to be something else they're going to bring up. They just do this. They always throw some other shit in. The Spanish flu lasted about 3 years. We don't remember that. We don't. There's very few people. Maybe was it a couple people that are still alive from 1918 to, was it with 1918 to 1920? It was about 2 to 3 years. So there's very few people alive from that. It was forgotten. So
Chris has reminded us.
COVID is here, and the government's okay. Go ahead.
I was going to say, COVID is here, and it means that the government have indeed had to put their action plan now out in the public domain. June the 21st is when everything should return to normal in England. Chris,
screw their action plan.
Now, that's what they've said. It's the earliest time. March the 8th was the earliest date that schools will be going back. They are going back on March the 8th now, it seems. But then there are other dates that were mentioned, non-essential businesses, and the time when live events, movie theatres, and other hospitality and entertainment can reopen. But the final date in the group of dates, a handful of dates that the government were giving, was June 21, 2020. But of course, there's going to be, in my opinion, a domino effect. It's not going to be like if they've said, for example, April the 12th is the day when hairdressers and barbers can reopen. If that shifts and is delayed, all right, I don't think that the other dates are going to stay where they currently are. I think they'll all be shifted somewhat if we don't go about this as carefully as we need to. The fact that all schools are going ahead, Jimmy, the government had the option on March the 8th to allow, say, a certain type of school, a certain number of schools to go back to...
All the schools are open here.
Yeah, I wasn't
in
talking
Japan.
about
All the schools. I know, but I'm just letting you know that the schools are all open here.
Oh, I know that. Yeah. That's why, as we know, this is all very much. It's a bit. Well, it's a load of, to put it into your terminology. It's a load of shit, because at the end of the day, here we have one government making one set of rules, and just across the English Channel, if not the Irish Sea, we have other governments making other rules. Not to forget, of course, we must mention Scotland with their devoluted government, along with Wales. They're also bringing in their own rules, and rightly so. My point is, it's just like I've always said for years, frigging hell, what is it with drinking, whether you're the right age to drink in the UK? Hold on a minute. We can drink in the UK when we're 2021, but wait a minute, if you're over in the USA, you can't drink till you're over 21.
And this is, and that's a horrible thing. That's a horrible thing. 21, to be able to drink only when you're 21, but you can go kill somebody. They can send you out and kill somebody at like 17 or 18.
Yeah, but apparently it's what some human who has been put into a role of responsibility and authority, whether it's president, prime minister, or just a minister in a group, a think tank, who have been tasked with deciding on the rules and regulations for a certain part of our society. Hold on a minute. It's different age in the UK for drinking than it is to, say, for Holland or Belgium, than it is to the USA. So who's got it right?
And I tell you what's got it right. It should be left up to the parents and the family. If the kid, like if you're a kid, if you're a parent, you got a kid, and if you're like 12, 14, and you're having like, was it a glass of champagne with your parents on New Year's, that should be allowed. Your parents should be the one to teach you about that stuff. Your parents should be in control of that, not the fucking government. Your parents should be there.
Well, to put it into your terminology and language, as far as I'm concerned, right now, I'd be far happier sitting on a Pacific island somewhere with a grass skirt on, doing my own thing and having my freedom back. Thank you very much. I mean, there's so many stupid rules when it comes to driving. Speed limits, autobahn, Germany, motorway, UK, freeway, highway, USA. You can't drive.
We've reached we've reached a level in society where you can wear a skirt even if you're in England. It's okay.
Actually, your friend David mentioned something, but he's got a problem with that statement. He says that Jesus, not to be confused with Jesus, I'm sure I got that right, dictates when we can drink in the
That's
USA.
bullshit. That's not true. That's not true.
But that's
He's saying
okay.
it's the church.
Yeah,
He's
but
saying the church, and that's not
to
true.
use Jimmy's terminology, it seems that it's flowing better with it. You're fucked if you're an atheist, David.
I think here's the thing. I think the morality of religion is a good thing. Whether I think hardcore religious people who are attending churches, they miss the concept because they're more about just because I go to church and that in their computer and actually following the dictates of Jesus, which were great or very Buddhist, I think. And you'll find a lot of theories that say that he actually went to India to study Buddhism and then came back to teach.
My point, really,
If
Jimmy,
you
is that
even believe that he existed.
my point is that when someone's responding, your friend's responding with such a statement, I find it very difficult to take an individual seriously, in as much as it's a statement that has so many questions about it. You might say to me now, David, that is history. But no, for a start, as I said, what happens if you're a non-believer and you're an atheist? For a start, you're going to tell me it makes you wrong? No, it doesn't, because everybody's entitled to their opinion, as you were when you made that comment. So it's a bit concerning to me when someone is so sure. Because don't get me wrong, when I'm so sure that someone went to the moon, okay, and I don't think it was just a film or a movie that everyone watched, I don't put it past the government to have faked it, okay, at the time in the 60s. But does it affect me directly at this moment in time or up to this moment in time of my life? Not really. Not really. What affects me really is truth or lie, fallacy, and realism. So that rather than going for the fine stuff to start with, we need to look at it at a more coarse and with eyes that are more wide open, I think, and the bigger picture. I did notice that the comment, by the way, from, was it Cheese on Biscuits? Did you see that there, Jimmy?
Cheese and biscuits. Where's cheese and biscuits? What? I got beer with dinner at 16.
Oh, don't get sarcasm there, David. Not when it's written, because you don't have a tone in your written words. That's why it's always good. So if you are being sarcastic, I would
get online.
I would apologise. I don't need to. I'm not going to, because no. That's why. I mean, I wouldn't. As I say, if in a conversation like this, in a group chat like this, because you got to be really careful when you're typing. If you want to go sarcasm and sarcastic and be a bit jovial. There are ways of doing it.
Because you don't know him. You don't know his character. You don't know him.
Well, exactly. And absolutely. So David was absolutely right when he says that your friend doesn't sarcasm, does he, Jimmy? I don't when I don't know the person. I have to assume that someone's being serious, because if I assume
now he's saying, I love when IT people tell me how to talk. No, we're not telling you how to talk. It's just that you're typing. You're not talking. That's the deal.
You see what I mean, Jimmy?
Yeah.
Big
okay, so
question
what the chicken biscuit says, I got beer with dinner at 16. Yeah, I think that's great. I think I've been drinking since I was a kid too. But I think that it was introduced. I've had some bad days when I was like from 18 into my mid 20s. Yeah, I went crazy, but I think it was at an early age that I had my first beer. So it was kind of like not an experience where you had to hide and drink. Where it's like a bad thing you're drinking. Yeah, so. I think it's much better that the parents control it, and maybe I'm being a little bit there are parents, people that don't have parents, so maybe but an adult figure in their life, right? A responsible adult figure in their life, and they can share a glass of wine or beer. And I remember drinking champagne when I was a kid.
I think David's going to probably start using sign language when he wants to talk. That's what he's going to do. And he's going to then tell us that I was talking. You told me you didn't like the typing, so I decided to help you out and talk to you. I was using it, but hopefully he doesn't just use one or two fingers, though, at the time of trying to communicate with that sign language, because that won't be too impressive, David. I'm sorry if I don't get your sarcasm, but not really, because it's totally understandable that someone wouldn't and shouldn't.
And the fact that he would write I love when white people. So he's trying to say, I love when white people tell me how to talk. Like we were supposed to be able to tell if you're white or black through the type.
Chris has just nailed it. You know, it's, again, with respect, Chris, it's not rocket science, is it? The simplest thing to do is write LOL, meaning laugh out loud, after what you've written, if indeed you want it to be taken, well, not seriously. I'm being nice. Yes, nobody said you weren't. Certainly not being rude, which is a good start. Anyway. I'm being nice as well, believe it or not. I mean, after all, I mean, seriously.
Yeah, Martin yells at me all the time when we're not live. Yeah, I don't know what the hell you're yelling at me all the time.
Yell? Me? Yell? Raise
yeah,
my
you
voice?
do. You get all fussy every time, all the time, dude.
Fussy? Are you serious? What? You mean I'm trying? When do I ever suggest to you that we should be professional rather than not? Seriously, Jimmy, come on.
Yeah. Times where you treat me like an idiot, but I'm okay with that.
How many jobs can you think of, people out there, where you can drink on the job? I mean, Chris.
How many coins have I collected here? How many coins have I collected
going on in Morrison's, where Chris happens to work? Other supermarkets and grocery stores are available across the UK and the world, but Morrison's happens to be one of the best ones. Yes,
I have important subjects talked about. I have very important subjects.
I was just going to mention that somebody has to go along the shelves where Chris works in the alcohol aisle and restock everything. Can you imagine if they were, drinking on the job, just to check out everything that they put on the shelf is suitable and up to standard?
Quality control.
You're quite right. Yes, you'd love a job like that, wouldn't you? But I'm not sure they would be standing on their 2 feet for the whole shift. Too long.
So here, let me say, I don't got a lot of money, but I just to dip my feet into, just to test out, I actually bought some cryptocurrency last week.
Okay.
And it's been a horrible ride. I've lost money.
Mentioned this last week. You've lost money. Now, how you?
I know. I didn't mention that. I didn't mention that I lost money last week.
No, you mentioned last week that you were thinking about, if not, you had already
thinking about it.
So the metaphorical drum roll has just had a metaphorical symbol crash, because we've heard that Jimmy's investment has indeed headed towards a crash. Is that what you're saying? Down? What's going on? How much you lost?
I put in various different things. In different cryptocurrencies. I put down. This is my first time investing into that kind of thing. So I invested about $1,000, which I don't have more than $1,000. So I figured. So I put $1,000 in. And I invested in it at the worst time possible. Elon Musk was texting stuff that just after I invested, Elon Musk said, "Oh, the Bitcoin seems a little bit high." And then what was it that fuckface Janet Yellen? She was like, was it the former? Was it part of the Federal Reserve? She was talking about how unstable it was, or it was, so. And because of that, so my cryptocurrency thing is I invested about $1,000, and right now I'm probably at like $700, around 700, a little less or a little more at $700. And at one point I actually pulled out my money when it was coming down, and when it started to dip up, I threw it back in. So right now what I'm doing is I'm not even touching it. So I'm losing money at now, but I'm like, fuck it. I'm gonna fucking watch this.
You're doing really well, Jimmy, and I think I thank you. I think that was very good. You've had a good week, haven't you?
Mine is $300, but here's the thing.
On the bright side, I'm going to say it could have been worse. You could have lost 1,000. Everything.
No, hold on. No. Come on, I'm going to give you the positive note here. Hold on, listen.
For you.
Hold on. Here's the deal. The thing is that it's kind of like I'm looking at it as like an education fee, because here's the deal. If I didn't have anything invested into it, I wouldn't be so glued to trying to study and try to figure out what the situation is and how this thing is working, or how it moves. So now that I'm got a little money invested into it, I'm actually like emotionally involved. It's emotionally involved, and it's only $1,000. It's like, this chump change, but the thing is, like, I'm watching it go down. I'm like, oh my God, this is horrible. And when it goes up, I'm like, oh my God, that's great.
But
it's kind of silly. But it actually making me like do research, reading a lot more articles and news and how it actually moves. So I'm looking at it as an educational experience. So it's like an educational fee that I've lost $300. But I'm in the long run, I think I'm going to make money. And the thing is, I have to learn to just be
Good,
patient.
good, good. That's it. Always
You know,
a positive attitude. But the thing is, you could have taken $1,000 and just given it away to a charity. All
fuck
right,
that shit.
yeah, but you're doing well because you're doing it the same
Okay,
thing,
here. David says you could have put
slowly.
100, not 1,000. I did put 100 in first,
No.
and
This is good because he would have then put some up. But the point is, you've come down now. You've lost $300, and you're going to lose all of it. But over the next
no,
two or
I'm
three
not
weeks,
gonna
okay?
lose it. I'm
No,
not
no,
gonna
but
lose.
but it is. But just remember that your loss is someone else's gain. So it's very positive.
That's
You
true.
are
That's true.
paying it forward. You have just given
Here's the
away
deal.
to a
You know what,
worthy
Martin?
cause $300.
If you do it with a day trader mentality, you can make money easily. A little
Right.
bit easier, but the point is, I don't want to be a day trader. It's fucking boring to sit there being glued to your fucking computer looking at charts. Like, okay, it rose 10%. I'm gonna sell. Oh, it's down 5%. I'm gonna buy. And so I kind of got. I was thinking about doing that. I said, nah, I'm gonna just try to fucking bid on the winning horse. And David says, was it you could have put 100 in, not 1,000, and I did put 100 in first. I put 100 in, then I put 500, and then I put 300 in. So I got in two different sites, Bitflyer and Kraken, because I wanted to test out what's the difference between the two. And
Right.
what happened was that when I put 100 in, I was up 20%. I was like, okay, maybe I can deal with this, and I wanted to test out with other coins or other
So,
cryptocurrency because they all move differently and they're all invested into something else. So I wanted to try out
right.
the
So,
thing,
Jimmy,
Yeah.
realistically, first of all, your friend David on Facebook, who should be on Haps and getting over
He
there
should be
for
on Haps. Get on
yeah,
Haps. Yeah.
he says that you should be saving your money. But I want to know between now and next week, when we next talk, certainly on ShineCast, how much do you think you're going to lose?
Well, according to the news, it feels like it's going down because they're trying to scare you. They're trying to scare you. But the thing is, you know what? Here's the deal. The yen, the pound, the dollar, they ain't worth shit. Okay. In the future, in the post-COVID world, this might be the way to go. This might be the way to go because they're going to tell you, well, what's the dollar backed by? What's the pound backed by? Guess what? It ain't backed by shit. It ain't backed by shit. Until 1971, it was backed by gold. It was backed by silver, but now it ain't backed by shit. So, and here's the thing with the cryptocurrency. The cryptocurrency is the government doesn't have their hands on it. They can't throw it out on welfare or throw it on things that wars. They can't throw it out. They have they can't control it. And so that means that it's much more secure. That means that I can trust it more than the government money because
But
the
do you
government money
trust
is
yourself?
artificially held up. Yeah.
Do you trust yourself for the right investments and where you're placing the money?
Yeah, I do. But right now
Good.
it's an education fee. The problem is that I'm trying to get into stocks, but I can't find a good application where I can actually a broker application where I can join in the Japan. So I have to just deal with this cryptocurrency. Actually, there a few other cryptocurrencies that I want to buy that I can't access from Japan, which kind of fucking sucks. And it's so stupid that I got rid of my residence, my address and stuff like in America. Otherwise, I could have established it there. So I might go back to the United States when this COVID thing is done, just to open another bank account so I can start investing through America.
Jimmy,
right now, I have no financial ties to America, which I need to build financial ties and pay taxes again in America.
I do hope you update us next week, Jimmy, and we'll see whether the markets for you have gone up, down, or there's no significant difference.
It changes like within an hour. Like I can tell you right now. Let me tell you here. I'll give you an example right now. So
Chris says that the governments don't control it yet, but they will if successful. Yeah, right.
They want to.
They want to.
Exactly.
They had no interest with Bitcoin and cryptocurrency.
They have to.
They had no interest in what's. Neither did the high street banks. And then suddenly, out of nowhere, they've come up to speed. Certainly, one bank that I used to work for indirectly with their internal communications, Barclays Bank, I saw how quickly they were on top of certain aspects of banking, shall we say. They've got one sort of area of their business dedicated to, shall we say, people who are physically disabled. they need better assistance when it comes to customer services. It's brilliant. It really is. One thing that always stick in my mind is that they had almost like a suit that you would put on as a member of staff in training to give you an idea how someone who is not necessarily totally paralyzed, but disabled, or maybe they have some sort of arthritis and it's difficult for them to walk, so that you can experience, say, going from the front door of a bank or the office to another area and see how difficult it is. So by the time they get to the cashier, the teller, then you know kind of what it feels like. And then they've got to go through the mental experience of explaining whatever it is they need to do with their banking that day. But yeah, that's a sidetrack there. But going back to the actual cryptocurrency stuff.
Yeah.
The banks realise that if they're not careful, they're already in trouble. I mean, one big bank in the UK that I'm aware of online, fantastic bank called Monzo. Okay, and there's plenty of banks out there. They don't have any physical presence. You can open up a bank account with them now immediately with the minimal ID, photo ID.
That's what I got to do in America again.
That sort of thing. Yeah. So the high street banks realise that their days are numbered when it comes to them just being the top 5 brands and a handful of brands in the nation where people need to stash their money away. And I mean, there's a lot of
silver and gold. Buy silver and gold. Don't stash your money away. It doesn't mean it doesn't earn any interest.
Right. Yeah. Buy silver and gold. Yeah, that's
silver.
what Jimmy's recommending.
Really, silver. Or gold.
Hi-ho, silver. Yes, we played that one.
Gold's a little bit expensive, so silver is a little bit more accessible, and you got some very beautiful coins, and historical coins too. Let me show my Queen Victoria. Even though I'm not a big fan of the monarchy, it's a beautiful coin. No. What am I talking about? Let me show my 5 franc Napoleon, 1812. 1812. Can you believe that this coin is? How old is that? 209 years old.
1812.
1812. So it's 209 years old.
Yeah, that's not to be confused with almost quarter past.
Well, the 1812. There's a lot of. Was it historical? Was it talk about 1812 because of the Napoleonic age, because of what was happening in Europe, because of what Napoleon was doing in Europe? Was he not? He was not. And this is a quote. I'm paraphrasing somebody, but not only did he invade other countries, and what he did was he invaded other countries, but he was holding a constitution in one hand as he invaded them. So the betterment of Europe is thanks to Napoleon.
Wow!
Even though he went crazy and then declared himself emperor at the end, he's still one of my favorite characters in history. Continually educated there, Jimmy, with all your knowledge when it comes to silver and coins particularly, and Napoleon. There you have it. We're going to say goodbye now, aren't we? Oh, we are?
Or are we staying here for another 4 hours? I can't remember. What did you say?
If David, you're still there, come on, man. By next week, come on. Just join HAPS. Just join HAPS.
Yeah.
Get in on the action.
And then we'll be able to take you more seriously when we should, and not when you're being sarcastic. It'll be much easier to decipher that.
He leaves comments in my Facebook, and I don't want to answer because it's just typing. I'm not going to, I don't like the typing thing where people just type back and forth. I hate it. It's like keyboard warriors, and they'd say all this shit that I'm not saying that it's him, but I watch it, and it's horrible that like in America, like so much of it now it's controlled. Like they fire somebody because of a tweet. Fuck that, man. Like they're not allowed to say what they want. I don't care if it's something bad. I don't care if you think it's racist or it's derogatory. If you want to say it, fucking say it. Doesn't mean I have to agree or anything, It's like,
Jimmy, you made your point. I thank everyone for watching, joining us live, or if you're watching on the replay, again, whatever platform you're watching, do certainly please share, like, and follow. Thank you for your support. By that specifically, I'm also highlighting Chris's little award that he gave us earlier on HAPS that helps us keep things going. Going forward, definitely, particularly when we're mobile, out and about. Again, things like data cost us, so that we have a mobile internet signal. Devices cost, so every penny counts. And on HAPS, you're able to support in that way. Thanks very much. Have a good week, both, says Chris. I will, and I hope you will too. I'm going to try and be out and about more mobile and making sure that the mobile kit is working. I left recording for you too, says David. That's for you, Jimmy.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah. I don't know what the recordings. What does that mean? Like Mission Impossible recordings?
No, yeah, it would self-destruct once you listen to what I think is a voicemail message he refers to. Right. So Japan, until next week, I think it's time to say toodaloo. Some might, others would say au revoir, arrivederci, and goodbye, Jimmy. I hope your markets work well for you.
Bitcoin's going up right now. I think it's because the New York market just opened. So here's the deal: it's like this is like the critical moment. So I'm like, was it 1:16 in the morning here? It's still in the morning on the East Coast of the United States. So the New York market is a big fucking deal. I have to be watching out for.
What about the London markets? And Tokyo?
Yeah, but as far as the crypto and the technology based market, it's going to be mostly New York at this moment. I mean, as I said, there's some cryptocurrency that I want to buy that I can't have. There's no access. They haven't accepted it in Japan, so I have no access to it. So yeah, it's the New York market you want to watch out for.
Right. Well, by the way, shouldn't it be you saying goodbye to me and signing off?
Oh, am I the one ending the show here?
I mean, you.
I don't. Oh yeah, you're right. No. No, I can't. I can't.
No.
I can't. Wait a second. Before we leave, I want to show you some shots of.
You going to share something with us at this stage? Okay,
yeah. Why not? Why not? At the end, we're gonna take a look at some.
Okay,
hooks up, right?
Tell us when it's on your screen what you want to show us.
Well, it's on my screen. I'm sharing, but it's not showing up on Haps yet.
Oh, no, it is when I press.
Oh, there you go. There you go. There.
Goodness me.
We're going to take a look at some. Oh, now it's gone again. Oh, here we go. Some Spanish flu masks. 1918 pandemic from 1918 to the end of, I think, 1920. So yeah. So you got some bird beak looking masks. Look at this. They're not covering their nose. So this lasted about 3 years. Here we go. Yeah. So oh, look at this here. I thought some of the ridiculous was it a mask they're wearing now. Look at that one here. Look at that.
Right.
Got some kind of clear cone on your face.
Look like Big
Bird.
Wear
a mask. Big Bird. Yeah.
Workshop on the USA.
These are my favorite. These are my favorite ones right here.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. Cops. There goes a cop wearing a mask. So it's the same thing, We're going through the same thing. So yeah, it'll be forgotten. Once it's over, we've forgotten. We adapt. The human race adapts very quickly. So yeah, it won't be long. What else is there? We had, was it the plague, pestilence? We all got over it, and this is probably a lot more minor than what they experienced back then.
Sure, and we've got all the technology. And don't forget, we can still stay in contact when we're from different parts of the planet and where we're living, even if it's miles away. We still have technology to accommodate our communications. Previously, it was carrier pigeon, if not smoke signals only. And look where we are, still in the shit we're in today. And we couldn't even.
What are you talking about? It's a wonderful world.
The governments and the people in charge. Well, as we know, the circus would.
They're always shit. They're always shit.
We're not going to go over that part of the conversation now, particularly when it's time for us to leave, Jimmy.
Yes.
Should we say goodbye?
Unfortunately. Goodbye.
It's goodbye
so
from
long,
London.
Farewell. I'll be saying good night.
Stay safe, everyone. And once again, do share, like, follow. Thank you, Jimmy. Bye.
Bye. Oh, am I? Oh.
Oh my goodness, has Jimmy dropped out? Oh, he's gone already. He's gone already. Thanks for watching, everyone. The bit you're not supposed to see after the titles and before them as well, if I recall on this one, just like most of the others. Jimmy has disappeared. Didn't even want to hang around. Look, here he is. Oh, he's on the other. Look, here we go. There's Jimmy. Bye for now, everyone.